Hello students, good morning. Today we are going to see the continuation for the lesson 15, the chemistry in everyday life. Today we are going to see the topic is food additives and cleansing agent. What is meant by food additive? So what is meant by food additive? So that is, what is the definition of this food additive? The substance which are not naturally a part of the food and added to improve the quality of food are called food additives. What is the meaning for that? So that is, so everyone notice the ingredient of this food color. So suppose some of the packed food items, you see the cover of the food containing the biscuit, chocolate, you might, that is the emulsifier. So that is 322 and 472E. So that is the conditioner. What are the conditioner uses? What are the color? What is the adulterant we are adding that? So these are all the food additives. So what is the preparation in addition of the main ingredients? What is the wheat flour, edible oil? So what are the content? So everyone see in a packed food items containing what are the content, what are the flour, and another one is what are the main ingredients, what are the energy, calories, carbohydrate, food. So these are the substance are necessary. Yes, these substances. So did you think about these are the all, everything is needed for any food item? So yes, everything is needed for this food items. These substance enhance the nutritive and sensory and practical value of the food. So இப்போ நம்ம ஒரு பாக்கெட் ஃபுட் எடுத்துக்கிட்டோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் அதில் பின்னாடி வந்து நிறைய கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஃபேட் கண்டென்ட் இவ்வளோ இருக்குது, அதனுடைய கேலரிஸ் இதில் இருக்குது, இவ்வளோ கலரிங் ஏஜென்ட் இவ்வளோ ஆட் பண்ணியிருக்கு, ஸோ இதனுடைய வீட் ஃப்ளார் இவ்வளோ ஆட் பண்ணியிருக்கு. ஸோ தட் இஸ் த திங் we are need to understand the value of the food. What are the food content present in the food items present in the packet? So that is called as food additive. So mainly it is to naturally is a part of the food and added to improve the quality of the food are called the food additives. So what are the important categories of the food additives? What are the thing we are going to adding for this food? First one is aroma. So aroma means that is the sweet smell. So aroma, sweet smell, we are enhance the food product. Okay, another one is food color. So attractive color. So different colors for chocolate and biscuit, different colors they have the introduced. So according to the attractive the children. So that is the reason they are adding the color. And another one is preservative. So that is preserve that food, particular food item. And stabilizers. So that is it can after 56 months till 6 months it is not decomposed anything. So that is the stable till the end of this 1 year. So that is the reason they are using the stabilizer. And artificial sweetness. So naturally, suppose any fruit juices, the fruit juices the containing the packed tin item, the fruit juices also they are adding the extra sweetness for increase the sweetening agents. And another one is antioxidant. So what is meant by antioxidant? So that is the, suppose any of the food items it is converted into oxidant, it easily oxidized with that content. So that is the thing we are adding the antioxidant. And another one is buffering substance. What is meant by buffering substance? So that is the neutralize the pH. So after during that time, so இப்போ வந்து pH வந்து values வந்து என்ன ஆகும்? ஸோ கொஞ்ச நாள் ஆனால் ஒன்று அசிடிக் ஆகிடும், இல்லைனா பேசிக் ஆகிடும். ஸோ தட் இஸ் நியூட்ரலைஸ், அது அப்படியே வச்சிருக்கிற மாதிரி. ஸோ நம்ம பேக் பண்ணும்போது எப்படி இருந்ததோ அதே மாதிரி வைக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கு. we are adding the buffering substance to neutralize the pH. Another one is vitamins and minerals. Say for example powder tin, the milk powder. So the powder milk containing all the vitamins and minerals are introducing the milk powder of this baby. So that is they are introducing the vitamins and minerals. What are the advantages of this food additives? So what are the main advantages? Reduce the product spoilage and extend the shelf life. So that is usage of this food additive. It reduce the product spoilage. So the additive add பண்றது, the preservative add பண்றதுனால so என்ன லைஃப் வந்து என்ன எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் ஆகும். addition of vitamins and minerals. So improve the vitamins and minerals and reduces the malnutrients. So இப்போ இந்த ஃபுட்டை எடுத்துக்கிட்டோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, ஸோ malnutrientsனா என்ன? ஸோ நியூட்ரியன்ட் இல்லாமல் வந்து குழந்தைங்களாம் வந்து ரொம்ப லீனாக தின்னாக இருக்கும்ல, அதுக்கு பேர் தான் malnutrients அப்படின்னா தேவையான உணவு, தேவையான நியூட்ரியன்ட் இல்லாமல் கொஞ்சம் நம்ம வந்து பேலன்ஸ்டாக நியூட்ரியன்ஸ் நம்ம எடுத்துக்கணும். பேலன்ஸ் டயட்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, ப்ரோட்டீன், கார்போஹைட்ரேட் and fat. So these are the three things are balancedly equal quantities we are taking. So that is the reason we avoid the malnutrients அப்படின்னு சொன்னோம்னா நம்ம வந்து அண்டர் நியூட்ரியன்ஸ். ஸோ இப்போ வந்து நம்மளுக்கு கண்டென்ட் நியூட்ரியன்ட் பேலன்ஸ் டயட் இல்லாமல் இருக்கிற நியூட்ரியன்ட், that is called as malnutrient. Next one is flavoring agent enhance the aroma of the food. So improving the food quality, improving the flavoring agent to enhance the aroma. And another one is antioxidant, prevent the formation of the potentially toxic oxidation of product of lipids, mainly oil. So mainly oil அப்படின்னு சொன்னா இப்போ ஆயிலெலாம் கொஞ்ச நாள் ஓப்பன் பண்ணி வச்சுட்டாலே ஒரு மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்மெல் வந்துடும். ஸோ பிகாஸ் வாட் இஸ் த ரீசன், த லிப்பிட்ஸ் ஆர் ஈஸிலி ஆக்சிடைஸ்ட் வித் ஆக்சிஜன். இட் இஸ் தட் இஸ் த ரீசன் தே ஆர் adding the antioxidant to prevent the rancidity of this oil. So that is main reason it is the lipids. Next one is what is meant by preservative. So what is meant by preservative is a preservative is the capable of inhibiting and retarding or the arresting the process of fermentation, acidification or the decomposition of the food by the growth of microorganism. So preservative அப்படின்னா இன்ஹிபிட்டிங்னா தடுக்கிறது, ரிட்டார்டிங்னா அந்த growth அப்படியே ஸ்டாப் பண்ணுறது, அரஸ்டிங்னா ஃபுல்லாக அப்படியே ஸ்டாப் பண்ணுறது, ஃபெர்மெண்டேஷன்னா ஸோ அதில் வந்து ப்ரீட் ஆகாமல், சப்போஸ் சே ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் பாக்டீரியா ஆர் ஃபங்கை the microorganism cannot breed inside that food. So that is the main reason. And next one is acidification. So கொஞ்ச நாள் ஒரு ஃபுட் அப்படியே வச்சுட்டாலே ஒரு மாதிரி புளிப்பு ஸ்மெல் வரும் இல்லையா, that is called as acidification. So or other decomposition of the food by the growth of microorganism. That is the mainly it is the retard, the decomposition of the food by the growth of microorganism. எப்போ வந்து ஃபுட்டு வந்து டீகம்போஸ்ட் ஆகும், ஸோ the microorganism வந்து வெல் டெவலப் ஆகிடுச்சு அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் that is the decomposed item, that is called as preservative. So what are the preservative they can be used? So here that is benzoic acid and this sorbic acid. So that is it is reduce the fungi, yeast and bacteria growth of this, reduce the growth of this fungi, yeast and the bacteria. And another one is alkyl ester of hydroxybenzoic acid is this can be used for the less acidic condition. Next one is acetic acid. So preservation of the pickle. So that is the preservation of the pickle, we can use this acidification. Acetic acid can be used. So next one is sodium metasulfate is a fresh vegetable. Sodium metasulfate. Sodium metasulfate is can be used for the preservation of fresh vegetables and fruits. Vegetables and the fruits. Okay, so this is the another one. So next one is and palmitic acid and stearic acid is used as a emulsifier. Palmitic acid is used as a emulsifier. What is emulsifier? ஸோ வந்து ரெண்டும் ஆசிட் வந்து ஒரு லிப்பிடும் வந்து ஆயிலும் வந்து aqueous solution, it cannot be that is suppose you are taking the previous video we have studied about what is meant by emulsification, previous lesson, that is surface chemistry. What is meant by emulsification? So என்ன நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும் ஒரு வாட்டரும் ஆயிலும் ஒன்றுக்கு ஒன்று மிக்ஸ் ஆகாது. ஸோ நான் நம்ம ஷேக் பண்ணால் அந்த வாட்டர் வந்து ஒரு ட்ராப்லெட் மாதிரி உள்ளே இருக்கும். that stages is called this emulsifier. So here the palmitic acid is used as a emulsifier. Some organic acids are heat treatment of the pasteurization. Suppose how to preserve, another one is pasteurization. What is meant by pasteurization? எங்கேயாவது கேள்விப்பட்ட மாதிரி இருக்கா? What is meant by pasteurization? So that is the preservation of milk, right? The pasteurization, that is mainly it is the preservation of milk. How it will be preserve the milk? So that is it is heated the high heat and the sudden cool of this milk. So that is called as pasteurization. And sterilization na, so above 100 degree it will be heated. So and next one is cold treatment, that is the freezing the particular substance. And another one is drying na வெளியில வச்சு நம்ம காய வைக்கிறதுனால அது மூலமா we can use the preserve the food. So that's the thing additionally we can use, let's say pasteurization and the sterilization. And another one is freezing, sterilization and freezing and drying. Okay, these are the addition method can be used for the preservation. So next one is what is meant by antioxidant. Next topic is called as antioxidant. What is meant by antioxidant? Is a substance which retard the oxidative deterioration of the food. Mainly it is prevent the oxidation of this food. So that is oxidation of food. That is prevent oxidation of food, that is called as antioxidant. So that is mainly the food containing fat and oil easily oxidized and turn rancid. So I already told what is meant by rancid. That is fat and lipid, fat and oils are easily oxidized and turned into, that is called as rancid. Okay, the fat oils are oxidized. That process is called as rancid. So to prevent the oxidation of the fat and oils, chemical. So what are the chemical they are added? The power preservation, BHT. What is BHT? So that is butyl hydroxytoluene. Butyl hydroxytoluene. Okay, so these are all the chemicals we are adding for the food additive. So they are generally called, this is called as antioxidant. Another one is BHA. What is BHA? Butylated hydroxyanisole. Butylated hydroxyanisole. Okay, so these are the another one. So next one is, these materials are undergo oxidation by reacting with a free radical, and the oxidation of oils stop the chain reaction. So what is the main? These are called the antioxidant, right? Antioxidant. What are the main purpose of this antioxidant? So it will be reduce the oxidation, stop the chain reaction of the oxidation of food. And another one is sulfur dioxide, and also used as a food additive. Sulfur, instead of BHT and BHA, sulfur dioxide and sulfite can also used as a food additive. They act as an antimicrobial agent, antioxidant and enzyme inhibitor. What is the main purpose of this antioxidant? These are the reacting with the free radical. Suppose any fat and oils are oxidized, mean the free radical will be formed. So the free radical, again it will combine with the antioxidant. They stop the chain reaction of the oxidation of this food. This is the way we can prevent the antioxidant. And another one is sugar substituent. Sugar substituent. What is mean by sugar substituent? So that is called as sugars for sweetening but are metabolized without the influence of insulin are called the sugar. So what is mean by sugar substituent? The compounds that are used like sugar, and for sweetening instead of sweetening. So that is without metabolized, without influence the insulin are called the sugar substituent. So that is without the influence of insulin. Insulin help illama instead of sugar க்கு பதிலா நம்ம ஆட் பண்றதுக்கு பேர் தான் என்னது sugar substituents. What are the sugar substituents? So that is called as sorbitol, xylitol and mannitol. These are the sugar substituents. So what are the next one is, what are the artificial sweetening agents? Sugar substituent were artificial sweetening agents. Repeatedly asking 2 more question. What is mean by artificial sweetening agents? What is mean by artificial sweetening agents? So what is artificial? Which that is the synthetic compounds which imprint a sweet sensation as possess no negligible nutrition value. So no nutritional value. No nutritional value. Sweet sensation. So what is meant by artificial sweetening agent? So that is the synthetic compounds which imprint a sweet sensation and possess negligible nutritional value. So that is no nutritional value are called the artificial sweetener. Example, so that is called as sugar free. Sugar free mainly is made up of aspartame. So it is an amino acid. It is very sweet in taste. Aspartame and allitame aspartame, alletane and sucralose. Aspartame, alletane and sucralose. So these are all the artificial sweetener agent. Okay, artificial sweetening agent. It is a imprint a sweet sensation, possesses no or negligible nutritional value. So that is called as artificial sweetening agent. Example, aspartame. Mainly artificial, the other name of this artificial sweetening agent, that is called as sugar free. Okay, so that is instead of the sugar we are adding the sugar free for the sugar patient. So this is the another one. So next we are going to see the cleansing agent. What is meant by cleansing agent? So everyone know that soap and detergent are used as a cleansing agent. So what is meant by soap? Soap is sodium or potassium salt of higher fatty acid. How to prepare soap? Soaps are mixture of sodium or potassium salt of higher fatty acid. So what is the difference between soap and detergent? Detergents are the sodium salt of alkyl hydrogen sulfate or alkyl benzene sulfonic acid. So what is the difference between soap and detergent? So that is detergents are the that is sodium salt of alkyl hydrogen sulfate or the long chain alkyl benzene sulfonic acid. They are the other different types of this, that is anionic detergents and the cationic detergents and non-ionic detergents. But here the soaps are mild soap, very soft soap. These are the made up of the what is mean. Next we are going to see the what is mean by soap. What is mean by soap? Soap is made for animal fat or vegetable fat. So that is mainly animal fat or vegetable fat. Soaps are prepared from animal or vegetable fat. And another one is they contain the glycerol ester of long chain fatty acid. That is, it is made up of glycerol ester of long chain fatty acid. Long chain fatty acid. So long chain fatty acid. Another one is it is the where glycerides are heated with the solution of sodium hydroxide, they become, so that is the glycerides. Glycerides, they react with sodium hydroxide, that is alkali, to form soap and glycerol. Okay, so this is the main preparation of this soap. Soap, the glycerides when react with sodium hydroxide to form the soap and the glycerol. So next one is, we already know prepare about this preparation of glycerol by the saponification. Common salt can be added for the reaction mixture to decrease the solubility of the soap and helps to precipitate out from the aqueous solution. So after then we are adding the sodium chloride NaCl to help to precipitate out from the aqueous solution. Soap is then mixed with the desired colors. So according to the desired color and perfume and chemicals and medicinal importance. Perfumes, chemicals and medicinal importance. So here after the precipitation of adding sodium chloride, according to the desire of color and perfumes and the chemical and medicinal importance. So these are the soap. So next one is what is mean by TFM. That is what is mean by TFM. So that is called as total fatty matter. Total fatty matter. What is meant by total fatty matter? That is called as, it is described, is defined as the total amount of fatty matter that can be separated from a sample after splitting with mineral acid. So that is, after the splitting of this, the total amount of fatty matter can be separated from a sample after splitting splitting with mineral acid. Acid, higher the TFM value, greater quality. Higher TFM value, better quality. So this is the what is meant by total fatty matter. The total fatty matter is defined as the total amount of fatty matter can be separated from a sample after splitting with mineral acid. That is the higher TFM value, the better quality. So இதை வந்து மறுபடியும் நம்ம டிசால்வ் பண்ணும்போது உங்களுக்கு வந்து higher quality கிடைக்கணும், mineral acid convert ஆகணும். So that is higher TFM value. So according to the BIS standard, what is meant by BIS standard? That is Bureau of Indian Standard. So that is called as BIS standard. Grade 1 soap should have 76 menu. So here the soap can be grade 1, grade 2 and grade 1 soap should have 76% TFM value. Grade 2 and 3. Grade 2 and 3 must have 70 to 60% TFM value. So that is 2 and 3. Okay, the 2 and 3 contain 70 to 60% of TFM value. Okay, so this is the another one, TFM value. So here the other quality parameters, the lather, moisture content, mucinous, insoluble matter in alcohol. The other quality parameters are also included in the total fatty matter. So next one is what are the cleansing action of soap. So how to the soap can be clean the dirty things from the cloth. Okay. So next one is the cleansing action of soap. What is the mechanism takes place when you are cleaning the cloth? So we are taking the sodium palmitate. Sodium palmitate is a carboxylate ion. So that is the carboxylic acid compound. That is, it is the structure of palmitate. So this is the structure of palmitate ion. So here that is how many carbon is there? This is 1, right? So in this end it is CH3. Here another C. Here each bend 1 carbon is there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, this is 16 and 16. So that is totally 16 carbon is there. So palmitate is the carbon is 16 containing is a carboxylate ion, C double bond O. So it is called as palmitate ion. Okay, so the compound is called as palmitate ion, right? So palmitate ion, these are having the dual polarity. What is meant by dual polarity? So that is one end is called as polar end, another end is called as non-polar end. What is polar end and non-polar end? So polar end is soluble in water, non-polar end is insoluble in water. So now the polar end, that is COOH, that is it is hydrophilic in nature. What is meant by hydrophilic? Attraction towards water. So it is soluble in water. But here non-polar end is hydrophobic in nature, insoluble in water, that is soluble in oil and grease. So now what is the mechanism takes place? Now the dirt containing cloth is due to the presence of dust particle. So mainly dirt and dust, grease or oil, these are all present in the cloth, right? So these are all insoluble in water. Insoluble in water. So what will happen? Now we are adding, so this is the cloth containing dirt or dust particle or grease or oil. Okay, so when we are dissolved in water, what will happen? When the soap is added an oily or grease part of the cloth, the hydrocarbon, so here this is the hydrocarbon part, this is the carboxylate part, COO minus, this is polar end, right? So what will happen? So when the soap is added, the hydrocarbon part of soap dissolved in the grease. So this is the hydrocarbon part. So because it is dissolved in this grease and oil, right? So now these ions will be liberated. So that is the hydrocarbon part of the soap dissolved in the grease, leaving the negatively charged carboxylate end exposed on the grease surface. இப்போ என்ன பண்ணும், இது வந்து எல்லாமே தனியா வந்துடும். So that is the hydrocarbon part is leaving the negative charge COO minus is separated from this hydrocarbon part. So at the same time, the negatively charged carboxylate groups is strongly attacked by water. So because this is here also COO minus, this is, it is attract to us water. It is strongly bind with the water, leading to the formation of small droplet called micelles, and grease is floated away from this solid object. So that is strongly attacked by water, thus leading to the forming. This is bind with this COO minus, this attract with water, it is bind with the water molecule. And another, the same thing, these are the small droplet called micelles, and grease is floated away from the solid object. When the water is rinsed away repeatedly, it is removed along with the water. So these micelles do not combine large drops because their surface are all negatively charged and repel each other, because these are all the positive charge, but here these all are negative charge. So that is the reason. So it is not bind together. The cleansing ability, the soap depends upon the tendency act as a emulsifying agent between the water and water insoluble grease. Okay, so what is the mechanism? என்ன நடக்குது அப்படின்னா, இங்க ஹைட்ரோகார்பன் பார்ட் இருக்கு, ஒரு சைடுல கார்பாக்சிலேட் அயான். So that is OH, that is the polar end, that is non-polar end. The polar end is soluble in water, the non-polar end is insoluble in water, only soluble in oil and grease. Now the cloth containing dirt, dust and grease and oil are present in the cloth, that is insoluble in water. When we are adding this solution to this cloth, what will happen? This hydrocarbon part removed away from this water, so the carboxylate ion bind with that water with a strong bond. But the positive hydrocarbon part is formed as a micelles, a small droplet. It is away from this compound, it is that is away from the solid substance. When the water is rinsed away, the grease goes with us. As a result, the cloth that gets free from the dirt and the droplets are washed away with water. These micelles do not combine with the large drops because the surface are negatively charged and repel each other. Because the surface is containing negative charge, it is not bind with that oil droplet. So this is the way we can clean the cloth. Okay, another one is, next one is detergent. We already know that what is meant by detergent. So detergent is also nothing but, this is also formulated products containing either sodium salt. We already know that sodium salt of alkyl hydrogen. So here, that is the three types of detergent. So what is the type? That is anionic detergent, cationic and non-ionic. So what is the detergent? These are superior to soap as they can be used even this detergent. What is the difference between soap and the soap can be washed in only the soft water, but detergent can also used in the hot water in the acidic condition. Now these are the detergent is also the cleansing action, everything similar to the soap also. This is example, sodium lauryl sulfate. The cationic detergent N-hexa decyl trimethyl ammonium chloride. Okay, so another one is non-ionic detergent, pentaerythryl stearate. Pentaerythritol stearate, stearic acid. Okay, so these are all the non-detergent. So that is anionic detergent example, cationic detergent example, and non-ionic detergent example. These are the example of detergent. Okay, that's all about the detergents. Next we are going to see the polymers. So next one is polymers. What is meant by polymers? Greek word that is polymers means that is having many parts. So what is polymerization? Last year we studied. So the large number of monomer is combined together to form a single compound that is called as polymers. So example, vinyl chloride is converted into polyvinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride is converted into polyvinyl chloride, right? Polyvinyl chloride. Ethylene is converted into polythene. These are all the examples we studied the last year, right? So here now we are going to see what are the types of this polymers. So the polymers can be classified based on the source of availability, structure and molecular forces and mode of synthesis. Okay, so these are the classification. What are the main classification of this type of polymerization that is can be classified? That is addition, that is the two. This again it is the one tabular column will be there. So what are the tabular column they are given in your textbook? So here that is the main polymers. What are the source, the structure and molecular force of action and the mode of synthesis. First one is what are the source, whether it is called as natural polymers. So it is obtained from the plants and animals. So that is called as cellulose and silk. And another one is synthetic. Synthetic means that is polythene or PVC, man-made from chemicals. So that is, this is naturally. So main is silk. So that is cellulose. Plants or animals, this is synthetic polymers. It's a man-made polymers. And another one is semi-synthetic. So that is natural polymers modified by this chemical treatment, that is viscose rayon, cellulose diacetate. These are all the semi-synthetic. அப்படினா என்ன அர்த்தம்? So பாதி வந்து நம்ம ஆல்ரெடி நேச்சுரலா கிடைக்கிற பாலிமர்ஸோட நம்ம எக்ஸ்ட்ரா chemicals வந்து add பண்ணி அதை வந்து நம்ம convert பண்றோம். So this is called the main source. Next one is structure. So that is called as linear polymer. Now we are going to see the what are the preparation, main preparation. We are going to see the next one. So that is, these are the, so just one flow chart. That is linear polymer is a long continuous chain, and another one is branched polymers. So that is the one man chain with the small chain as a branches, that is polypropylene LDPE, and another one is cross link polymers or the link chain line chain linking of chain polymers, that is the backlight. So again these are all the another example molecular forces. So that is soft and stretchy, that is neoprene, bunion. So these are all the important compounds. The next we are going to see all the preparation with the formula, right? Fiber polymer chain, forms of fibers. So these are all the another structure. Thermoplastic, so that is the PVC. What is polystyrene? So these are, next one is thermosetting, do not become soft on heating but set on the infusible mass on heating, that is backlight, melamine, formaldehyde. See these are all the preparation types of the molecular force. Next one is mode of synthesis, addition of polymers formed by the polymerization of monomers without of the elimination of any byproduct. So that is called as polythene, PVC and the Teflon. So these are all the classification of polymers. So the main types of the polymers can be classified into two types. So next one is addition polymerization, condensation polymerization. What is mean by that is the high molecular mass of polymer from small structure. The process of forming a very large and high mass of polymer from small structural unit. So monomer is called polymerization. Polymerization occurs in the two ways. First one is addition and the condensation. The addition polymerization, again it can be suitable condition. The chain growth mechanism involves the addition of the reactive end of the growth chain across the double bond of the monomer. So mainly the polymerization takes place with the alkene compound, right? So the free radical, so here that is the addition of polymerization can be takes place in the 3-step: free radical, then cationic polymerization, anionic polymerization. First one is free radical polymerization. Free radical polymerization. What is mean by free radical? What are the first step? Initiation. Initiation means initiation, formation of free radical. This is the first step. Formation of free radical. This is the example of styrene polymerizes to polystyrene, that is styrene polymerizes to polystyrene. Okay, so this is the one. Now we are going to see that. First step is with the presence of the peroxide is act as a initiator. So initiator here peroxide. So benzoyl peroxide is act as a initiator. Okay, so this is COO. The initiator now is forming a free radical when we are heating 2 molecule of this compound, right? C double bond O dot. Okay, so that is here in the bond when the break agi, so over ion. So that is this is the covalent bond. Inge irundhu or electron free radical. What is free radical? The atom, the ions, that is the free ions present in that each atom. So inge irundhu or electron, the homolytic cleavage. So each ion is retained their respective atom. So that is 2 molecule of ions will be formed. That is carboxyl benzoxylate ion. So to form the free radical, phenyl free radical. So again it will be converted into phenyl free radical. The carbon dioxide will be removed. Right? So now the phenyl radical, free radical will be formed. So now to CO. So that is carbon dioxide will be removed. So this is the first step. Next one is propagation step. So first one is the initiator. What is the compound name? That is benzoxyl peroxide. Benzoxyl peroxide. Benzoxyl peroxide, that is called as propagation step. What is the propagation step? First one is the phenyl free radical. The styrene monomer is bind with that compound. So now the phenyl free radical. So each bond containing CH. Now this is one bond. Okay, so now here this compound is bind to this styrene. What is the formula of styrene? So this is the styrene compound, is the alkene compound containing styrene contains C6H5, right? So here this is the styrene compound. Idhula or bond inge vandhudu. So adutha bond vandu inge vandu idu kuda bind agudhu. That this is called the styrene. Styrene. This one is phenyl free radical. Phenyl free radical. The phenyl free radical styrene will combine together to form the stabilized radical. So that is the thing. So combine the 2 molecules, right? Here the CH, another H will be there. So another one is C6H5. Here one H. So this is free radical, right? So this is the another one. This is stabilized radical. Stabilized radical. So next one is the stabilized radical attack another monomer. So here this is the stabilized radical is attacked with another monomer. What will happen? So another compound will be bound. So right, it is attacked with another monomer. How? So here this is H. Now H. Double bond C6H5. Here H. Now, so again the same compound, this only is bind with that compound, right? So here, now the compound is right. So what is the compound? Here C6H5, here CH2, then CH, C6H5, then CH2, CH, C6H5. So the compound is continuously is going on. So now what is the polymerase chain? How it will be, right? So here that is CH2, CH, C6H5. Okay. So this compound can be elongated, that is N-type. So this is called as polymer chain. polymer chain. So how it will be elongated? So this is the chain growth will be continued, successive addition of several thousand. So now this is one styrene, here one styrene. Continuously we are adding, the styrene compound will be added, the chain will be growthed. So that is the final one. So next one is, what are the terminations? So how it will be terminated? The above chain can be stopped by stopping the supply of monomer or by coupling of two chains or reaction with impurities such as oxygen. So that is called as termination. What is meant by termination? You stop the supply of styrene or adding with oxygen. So that is CH2, CH, C6H5. Then 2 molecules, this is N, CH2, CH, C6H5, CH, C6H5, CH2, N. Okay, so this is called as, you are adding the impurities oxygen, adding oxygen or stop styrene, adding styrene. Okay, so this is the way we are prepare the polystyrene. This is the mechanism of polystyrene. So that's all about the preparation of this addition. What are the preparation with the initiation with the free radical polymer. Next topic we are going to see the what are the main important addition of polymers. Next chapter is very important. This chapter 10 mark will be asking for this blueprint. Maybe 10 mark will be asking, 10 mark will be coming for your board exam. Okay, so that is, this topic is very important, easy one, easily understand that. So only small equation will be there, you can easily understand that equation. You can learn all these are only the preparation of this polythene, LDPE, what is HDPE. Next we are going to see the all these preparation. Okay, thank you children, see the next video.